Hey everybody, happy Monday. Coach Melissa here at the gym at NV Fitness in Goderich Fit Body Bootcamp, Goderich Fit Body Forever, and the Bar Goderich. And I am going to talk to you today, as I do every Monday, about something to do with health and fitness. And today I'm going to talk about motivation. 3 different ways to stay motivated or to help stay motivated if you're struggling with that, which is pretty common. And now here we are at the end of February. So those New Year's resolutions or those goals that you set a couple months ago, kind of a check-in. How's that going and how's everybody doing with that? This is when motivation may be starting to lack or wane. So checking in on that motivation and on those goals. You still have 10 great months left to make it the greatest year, that we all hoped for at the beginning of 2018. And maybe there's been some barriers and some obstacles getting your way. Maybe you're not feeling as motivated as you were a couple months ago, maybe even a couple weeks ago. So let's talk about different ways to stay motivated, perhaps when that is a struggle for you. And the first one is to focus on your overall behaviors, not on your results. Okay? So a lot of people put a lot of stock into the number. So perhaps the goal is to lose 20 pounds, or maybe the goal is to lose 50 pounds, or maybe the goal is to lose 5 pounds. And if, you focus on just that number, and then you don't meet that number, then it feels like everything that you did and all of the effort that you put in and every, habit that you tried to put into place is all for nothing. Because weight loss, as a goal to begin with is pretty complicated, and it can be quite fickle. A lot of our members have a habit of stepping on the scale much too often, daily, if not more than once a day. And the scale goes up and down. The scale goes up and down depending on a lot of different things, from stress to sleep to hormones to what time of the day you're stepping on the scale to, what you, like how much water you're retaining, so many different things. So basing all of your self-worth on the number on the scale is often setting people up for failure. And seeing a number on the scale, determining your self-worth and saying, I had a good week because the scale went down by, this amount, versus, I had a terrible week because the scale didn't go down, or, heaven forbid, it went up. It's robbing you of joy, and it's not fair to you, and it cancels out, or it doesn't give credit to all the other work that you've done. So instead, focus on the behaviors that you've put in place. Perhaps make goals that are based around habits and are based around your behaviors. And are you able to stick to that habit? Are you able to stick to that behavior however often is realistic for you? So maybe it's not 5 days a week, maybe it's 3 days a week, or maybe it's 80% of your meals or something like that. So making your goals and, determining your success based on the process that you're going through, not specifically just on the outcome, is going to keep you motivated. It's a lot easier to focus on the habit and committing to the habit, sticking with the habit, than it is to specifically focusing on that number. Let's say in this case, which often is completely out of your control. You can do everything right. You can nail those habits, and still the number may not be what you want it to be. And that happens sometimes, and sometimes there's an easy answer for that, and sometimes there's not. You cannot control how fast your fat cells shrink or how quickly your muscle cells grow. And if you are gaining muscle, then that's going to mess the scale up even more. So focusing on your habits, focusing on your behaviors, focusing on the process, and being able to say, at the end of the day, I was able to do that habit, is much more successful and much more motivating for you than saying, I wasn't able to reach my goal because I didn't get to that number on the scale. And that's not necessarily what it's all about, okay? I'm not sure if maybe I clicked out there for a second. If somebody who's watching can comment and let me know. My phone was saying that I went offline and then I came back online, so I'm not really sure if I did or not. I'm just going to keep talking and we'll see how it goes. So bottom line for tip number 1 is focus on the process, not just on the outcome. Focus on the habits, the behaviors, not just on the numbers on the scale. Okay, number 2, so our second tip is change the system, not the symptom. Okay, so what does this mean? Let's say you have a goal. Hi, I am back. Okay, I'm not sure how long I left. Thanks, Debbie. I'm not sure how long I left, but I think basically you guys got the gist of what I was saying. Okay, thank you. Okay, so second tip, change the system, not the symptom. So a lot of people, let's say, have a goal that they're going to work out 5 days a week, or they're going to work out, let's say, early morning because that's the only time really that works best for them, let's just say. But it doesn't necessarily work out because they set their alarm, and I actually have I have a client who's going through this right now, actually, set their alarm for whatever time in the morning, and then they are tired, right? They're tired when they wake up, and they shut their alarm off, or they hit snooze with the full intention of getting up, and they don't. For whatever reason, they're tired. They rationalize that they need more sleep, or they legitimately fall back asleep even if they didn't mean to. Or some people don't even remember shutting their alarm off and going back to sleep. So that system isn't working. So let's change the system. So in that specific case, perhaps it is, a lot of people use their cell phones for alarms, right? And a lot of people have it within arm's reach of where they're sleeping. So move it. Get that alarm. Put your phone across the room for when you go to bed so that you physically have to get up out of bed and stand up and walk to get your phone and shut it off. Perhaps then you'll be a lot less likely to get back into bed. Or put your phone, if the bathroom, let's say, is close to your bedroom, then perhaps put your alarm in there with your workout clothes. So you walk in there, you see your workout clothes, you're more motivated to put them on. You're already up anyways. You're right there. There you go. I read yesterday, I think it was yesterday, that some cell phones actually have a setting where you can disable the snooze button on your phone, on your alarm. So perhaps changing the system, is there a way that you can change the system so that it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the snooze button, or it doesn't necessarily have to do anything with that? We make these great big plans. I'm going to work out, 3 days a week. I'm going to get up because the only time I can go is at 6 a.m. And then by Tuesday, this isn't working for me anymore, so I might as well throw the towel in for the rest of the week because I've already missed 2 days. I can't go at any other time of the day, so now it's a write-off for me. Change the system. Don't focus on what's going wrong. How can you make it go right? And then you're much more likely to stick with it. So I hope that makes sense as well. Change the system, not the symptom. Focus on how you can take what's going wrong and what's not going well and change the whole pattern, the whole system to make it better. Okay? And then the third tip, and it always comes back to this, has to do with stress. Okay, so a good way to kill any motivation that you have for health and fitness, or especially nutrition, is stress, is being stressed. So you cannot change a behavior consistently, and that was the first tip, was to focus on your behaviors, not necessarily just the outcome. You cannot change a behavior consistently until you are not stressed out consistently. So if you are stressed out all of the time, then that is something that we need to address. You need to address in order to maintain your motivation or keep you going forward. So if you feel like working out is really important to you and it's a big change that you want to make in your life, let's say, and you join a gym and you block time off in your schedule, you find a program that works for you and everything like that, but you're not doing it because you're too busy, or you're too overwhelmed with life, or you're so stressed, then that's, whatever's going on in your life is you can have everything laid out perfectly. You can have the system perfect, but if stress is getting in your way, then this is the issue, and we need to address the stress. Maybe can't get rid of it, but certainly find ways to deal with it, live with it. Having, systems in place that you can recognize your triggers and notice and name them. I am wanting to eat this not because I'm hungry, but because I'm overwhelmed, or because I'm stressed, or because I'm scared, or because I'm worried. Having that knowledge, having that self-awareness is a big piece of being able to keep moving forward. Recognizing that what makes your brain shift away from, if I do this, then I will lose weight, to, okay, I'm stressed, so I'm going to eat French fries. That's what we need to address. That's what we need to figure out. Research has found that people are biased towards habitual behavior when they're under stress. So that instinctive, not thinking, just, grabbing the French fries, or, grabbing the drive-through, or just grabbing the chocolate without even thinking, because they're stressed. They can be shifted back towards goal-focused decision-making if they're, focusing on something to block the actions of stress hormones in the brain. Stress literally changes parts of your brain involved in decision-making. So what does this mean for somebody who does well with the workouts when everything is going smoothly, but goes back, to eating, like stress eating, or, just watching Netflix all day? As soon as, life gets complicated, you're not likely to break that cycle just because, just by telling yourself, this is what's best for me, or, this is my goal. You know what your goal is. You know that this isn't good for you. You know what you should be doing. When we're in that stress mode, the brain just doesn't connect the goals to these reflexive or instinctive behaviors that you're trying to do. The part of your brain that manages things like long-term goals and, that impulsive behavior gets drowned out of that conversation. So, how can we make this better? Once you can clear that stress away and, kind of address that anxiety. And again, it's getting to the root issue of what's going on. You'll have a better, clearer path forward. You'll have a brain that's more capable of running decisions through that, stop, notice, name, what's going on, why am I feeling this way, why is this what I'm gravitating toward. Until that happens, it's not about the workouts. That's not the problem. It's not about you're too busy. That's not the problem. It's, you can get results in a 20-30 minute workout. It's 2% of your day. Rearranging your schedule won't necessarily matter either. You're not going to be able to do this consistently until you're able not to be stressed out. Consistency. You have to address what is causing that anxiety first. Once you have addressed that, and once you have a plan in place to work through that, then you're going to feel a lot more capable, a lot more confident, a lot more supported in order to move forward. And you'll probably notice it always comes back to this. It always comes back to the mental work that you need to do too, especially in order to stay motivated. A lot of people talk a lot about willpower and, someone's ability to be successful. And it's not about willpower. And I've always maintained that it's not about willpower in order to be successful. It's about support. It's about surrounding yourself with people that are going to lift you up. It's about encouragement. It's about creating the right environment for yourself. Your support system and your environment are what are going to help keep you moving forward and are going to help keep you motivated. So these three different things, focusing on your behaviors, not necessarily just the outcome, changing the system or changing the environment to better work within, these goals that you're trying to reach, and addressing the stress in your life and trying to figure out how your environment and your support system, is it either supporting you or is it sabotaging you? That's going to help keep you moving forward a lot more successfully than not. So I know it's tough to stay motivated. Not everybody is 100% motivated 100% of the time. There are a lot more ways to help keep yourself motivated, and maybe I'll go over some of them next Monday as well. We'll stop at 3. That's enough, I'm sure. Focus on your behaviors. That's number 1. Set goals that are based on behaviors, not on numbers, okay? You can't control the numbers. You have complete control over your behavior. So set goals that are based on behaviors, reach those goals, and you're more likely to reach the other goals as well, okay? Look at your environment, look at the systems you have in place to help get you to that goal. Are they working? Are they not? What can you do to change that in order to be more successful? And address your stress level. Are you chronically stressed? Are you consistently stressed? Are you consistently feeling overwhelmed? And if so, in what way? Where is that feeling coming from? And who do you need to talk to, or what can be done to either support you through that, right, with perhaps some new ideas, or to help you make some changes. So that is your Monday today. It is the 26th of February. Coach Melissa here for Goddard Fit Body Bootcamp, the Bar Goddard, and Fit Body Forever. If I can help in any way with any of those 3 ideas, if you have any comments, questions, concerns about that, feel free to comment below. Other than that, thanks for listening. I'm glad this video continued on for the rest of the time. And I will most likely see you next Monday as well. Bye, everybody.